We're glad you joined us today for our special guest, Gerald Wolfe. Gerald, it's good to have you here.
Thank you, Gary.
Gerald and I got acquainted about 3 years ago or so, and while you were singing with the Cathedral Quartet, and it's good to have you here on the program today.
Thank you.
The Cathedrals, interesting group of guys, you know, a couple of fellas who've been around forever and ever, George Yance and Glenn Payne, and then Danny Funderburk and
Mark
Trammell and yourself, traveling around the country. The Cathedral is a great group of guys and certainly great entertainers. That must have been an exciting experience for you.
Oh, it certainly was. Yes,
growing up listening to quartets, did you?
All my life.
Like I did?
All my life. That's all I've ever done, yeah. There used to be a promoter in Knoxville, Tennessee. His name was J. Basil Mull.
I used to hear him on the radio.
Some
of the folks might have heard him, J. Basil Mull. He had a voice kind of like that, you know.
Good to be here this evening, neighbor. This is your old neighbor,
That
J.
sounds
Basil.
just like him.
And Mrs. Mull.
That's great. That's great.
They were on a lot of radio stations across the country.
So you listen to that all the time?
Oh, yeah. And he
sent in for the records for 17 records for $4 or whatever.
Yeah, all that, yeah. And
well, listening to music, you got to be from, what, the southeast?
Morristown, Tennessee.
Morristown. Doesn't sound like a huge metropolis.
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Oh, yeah. About 35 miles east of Knoxville. We got about 20,000 people.
Well, that's good. So your parents were musical, or they just loved gospel music?
Well, my mom was a church pianist for about 25 years
in
the same church, and so I was raised, you know, in church music.
That's great. Done, yeah. And you started singing and playing the piano when?
Well, I started singing when I was 2 on the radio.
Come on, 2 years old?
Well, that's what Mom says. They used to stand me up on a coat case at the radio station so I could reach the mic.
Was this a church broadcast or
we had a church broadcast, and then I did that, you know, growing up, and then I started playing the organ at our church when I was about 11 years old, and became the senior organist by the time I was 15.
You're kidding.
And that was before I started traveling all the time.
Now, you took piano lessons from the time you were 2, or what?
No, I took piano lessons when I was in 2nd grade for about a year and a half, and got really bored with it. And
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was just, I was at the wrong age to do that.
I understand.
So I quit, and didn't want to do it anymore until I was getting on up there, and then I started listening to this guy named Larry Goss.
Oh, good friend, yes.
He played the piano, and so I started listening to some of the albums he had played on and tried to pick up things from him. And that's where I got my interest back.
So you kind of took a few lessons, then you began playing without any more teaching or training?
Right. I just learned from listening to records.
It was kind of a gift then, wasn't it? I mean,
well, I think it was. I used to pray all the time, you know, for God to let me play the piano. I wanted to.
Is that right?
Oh, that's all I wanted to do. And he allowed me to do that. And then after I learned how to play the style of music that I wanted to play, then I decided I was going to learn how to read music.
I see. That's kind of backwards. You did it all.
I got it backwards.
Well, now let's talk for a minute about those guys, the Cathedrals. You actually went with that group to play the piano.
Right.
And here you are, a gospel singer. Tell me about that. I mean, that's a strange transition, or...
Well, I had went to Atlanta, Georgia to rehearse with those guys for the first time. And we rehearsed at a Christian supper club called the Joyful Noise in Atlanta. And there was a tape that Glenn Payne had gotten a hold of that I had sang a song on. And he said, sing me a verse of that song you sang on that tape. And so I started singing it, and Mark and Danny kind of joined in on the chorus and did the harmony. And George said, we're going to start doing that on stage. And then, so every night I would sing one song. And then it got to be 2 songs. And
then you found that song, Champion of Love, right?
Yeah, Champion of Love.
And that kind of propelled you into all our living rooms and automobile radios and all that. And we've heard you sing that song. It's a great song.
It's really
we've gone back in your life a little bit, and I want to kind of catch up and catch everybody who's watching, catch them up with where you came from and who you were as a kid and all that in Morristown, Tennessee. Got some photographs that I want you to look at here. This little boy, it couldn't be you because he's really cute. He's a doll. That's you, right?
Yeah.
How old are you there?
I was about 2 years old there. That's when I was doing those radio programs back there. Yeah, I kind of went downhill, didn't it?
But your mom's still proud of you. I know that.
Yeah.
And then there was a group that you sang with. I think I've got a photograph of those guys. Oh, here we are. Oh, tell me about this group.
That's the group called the Dumpling Valley Boys.
Come on now.
The Dumpling Valley
Boys. Oh, I saw your movie, Don Knotts and Tim Conway, the Apple Dumpling Gang Valley Boys.
No, that's the Apple.
No, this is the Dumpling Valley Boys.
Dumpling Valley Boys,
That's a funny name for a quartet.
Well, I was with them for 6 years.
Oh, now who's this?
Well, that's the trio.
So that's what's left of the Dumpling
What's left
Valley.
of the Dumpling Valley
So it's
Boys.
still called the Dumpling Valley.
The trio now. They're still singing.
Oh, so they're still singing?
They're still singing. They sure are. Right now we're working on a new album for them, as a matter of fact.
Is that
I'm
right?
producing it, so that's exciting for me.
You've done some traveling overseas and some other things. In fact, you've got a photograph of you there.
That's when we went to London, England to
Big
record
Ben?
Champion of Love with the Philharmonic
That's great.
Orchestra there.
That's great.
Yeah.
That must have been exciting for you.
Oh, that was really
And
exciting.
look at this, Radio City Music Hall. Not many people get to sing there.
No.
So that was a great experience for you, I know.
That's a great thing. We did that with the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir about a year ago. That was wonderful.
What a great...
We premiered their new album there.
Well, here's your daughter. No, that's not your daughter.
I know. That's my wife, Donna.
That's
She's
your
a
wonderful
sweetheart.
wife, Donna, who is a lovely lady.
Yeah,
she's
a
a
sweetheart.
and you've got iridescent ears in the photograph, I see.
Tanning
Ears
bed.
look like something from outer space there a little bit. Well, Gerald, I know that in your life you've probably had a lot of joys and a lot of experiences, and being with the quartet, which was probably a dream for you.
Sure it was.
And now you're singing solo. You've probably also had some times that weren't so joyful and quite so up. I guess if you had it to do over again, or maybe you can share with me on this basis, if a young person were to come to you today and say, how do I get started in gospel music? How do I get with a quartet, or how do I do what you're doing? I'm sure they must ask you that. What do you usually tell them?
Well, I usually tell them that I was not planning to do what I did. It just happened. The Dumpling Valley Boys heard me at my church, play the organ, and then they asked me to come on the road with them. And I tell them that that's honestly the truth. But I always wanted to do this, but I didn't know how to get started. But now that I've been doing it for 8 years, I think the best way is to just decide what you're going to do and just take every available opportunity to sing or play or whatever it is you want to do in front of those people that need to hear you do it. Like if you get a chance to go to all these little Saturday night singings like I used to do growing up, and eventually the right person is going to hear you.
So you shouldn't just wait around on some great opportunity to come your way, and all of a sudden there it is, you're on the stage of the Radio City Music Hall, or you're in London recording with the Philharmonic. You shouldn't wait on that?
I don't think so.
You got to take what you've got and go out there and share it with the world?
That's right.
Even if it's starting in your own church?
That's exactly right.
That's what you did?
Yes, sir. That's what I did. And you just got to decide what you want to do and just hang in there till you reach that goal. I mean, you just don't set out. You just don't go out today and say, "I'm going to join, the Cathedral Quartet," or "I'm going to join, or go play with the London Philharmonic Orchestra." But God has a way of working those things out in His time frame.
Did God tell you to leave the Cathedral Quartet and become a soloist?
He didn't come to me in the night and speak to me, in a voice. But about a year ago, He began to deal with me about leaving them and center what I do more toward churches. When I was with the Cathedrals, we sang in an awful lot of churches, but there was a lot of churches that we couldn't go into. We just didn't have the time. And so there were a lot of doors open there that I saw a need to go into those places, and I spoke with all the guys about it, and they were really supportive. And then at the end of the last year, I knew it was time.
Right.
And so it just worked out well.
Your wife, your marriage, how long have you been married now to Donna?
2 years.
2 years. Mm-hmm. She's probably been very supportive of all that you're doing now. Does she travel with you?
She does now. And
that's good.
When I was with the Cathedrals, of course, she didn't. Except on some special occasions, she would fly in or something.
For many years, Carol, my wife, had to stay home and raise the kids. And it's a joy now to be able to travel with her, and we travel together constantly. And I think we're probably closer together right now in our marriage than ever before. And something about that, being together all the time like that, is very special.
It takes a special lady, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah. It really does. What about, I know you sing to a lot of older folks, and you're a young guy, and you go out there and sing these songs. Is there an adverse reaction ever, or do they love you? These little ladies, do they love to wrap their arms around you and kind of say, that's my boy?
Well, I used to tell my wife, Donna, before we were married, how we were dating, and she would ask me, how many girls come up and talk to me at the concerts, and I would tell her, Donna, honey, the only women that want to have anything to do with me are either under 14 or over 75. the older ladies like me because they think I'm small and cute, and then the young
you are,
girls,
Gerald. You really are. You're small and cute.
You think I'm cute? I used to be small.
You used to be small. You're growing. Road life will do that to you. Gerald, I know you've got an album that's been in the stores and on the radio, and it's received a great deal of airplay and success and sales. You're working on a new one now that'll be out soon. And I encourage you. In fact, I want you to sing, go over to another set here, and I want you to sing a couple of songs in just a minute. Will you do that for us?
Oh, yeah.
So that we can hear that that powerful voice.
Okay.
I know it's an exciting thing for us to have you here. Thank you for being our guest today. We're going to be back in just a minute with Gerald Wolfe to sing for us. Don't you go away. This program today and get to know you, get to know about your family, and get to know about why you do what you do, your motivation for going out and singing gospel songs in churches all around America. And I know things are going well for you with your album. You have a new album coming, but today you're going to sing from the album called Gerald Wolfe.
Right.
An innovative title, Gerald.
I thought so.
Yeah, where'd you come up with that great title, Gerald Wolfe?
Oh, my mom gave me that idea about 25 years ago. So
Are you 25?
Yeah.
So that's when she gave you the idea? You probably got the only album titled Gerald Wolfe.
I just about guarantee that.
Probably a good idea, too. The song you're going to sing is called Made for Praise. It's from that album.
Right.
And it's a great song. Gerald Wolfe singing Made for Praise.
Thank you,
Sing,
Gary.
brother.
Okay.
We have a good reason to lift our voice and sing, for we serve a risen Savior who is our soul maker and creator king. We have a good reason to let our spirits soar, for we were put on earth to celebrate the blessings of the Lord. When we were made for praise. Deep in our hearts we all know it. When we were made for praise. Don't be afraid now to show it. Lift up your voice and clap your hands. Sing to the Lord, you know you can. When we were made for praise. We were made for praise. We have a desire, a burning in our souls, and God gave it, so don't fight it. Just give in and let that fire have control. We have a desire that will not be denied, so open up to Jesus and offer Him the love you have inside. When we were made for praise. Deep in our hearts we all know it. When we were made for praise. Don't be afraid now to show it. Lift up your voice and clap your hands. Sing to the Lord, you know you can. When we were made for praise. All of creation rejoices and dances before the Lord Most High. Like millions before us, let's join in the chorus and honor Jesus Christ. When we were made for praise. Deep in our hearts we all know it. When we were made for praise. Don't be afraid now to show it. Lift up your voice and clap your hands. Sing to the Lord, you know you can. When we were made for praise. When we were made for praise.
Gerald Wolfe singing Made for Praise. Brother, that's wonderful singing.
Thank you, Gary.
Great job, great job. Listen, you're such a small guy. It's amazing that you've got the power that you've got with your vocals.
Well, it comes from years of yelling.
So what, did you come from a home of yelling? Is that what happened?
Home of yelling, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, back to your mother again, 25 years ago,
that's right.
Yeah. Hey, I know you're going to sing a song that's an older song,
Right.
but it somehow fits what you do so well. Not that you sing all older songs, but I think the great songs that are in our hymn books, Till the Storm Passes By is probably not a hymn, but it's showing up in some of the hymn books.
Right.
The hymns are not in our songbooks because they're old, it's because they're great.
That's right.
And I want you to sing it because it's a great song. It's a song of ministry. Till the Storm Passes By, Gerald Wolfe.
Thank you, Gary. I want to do this song for those of you who today might be having a storm in your life. I think this will minister to you. It certainly has to me. An old Mosey Lister song, Till the Storm Passes By. Till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more,
till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of thy hand. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. And in the dark of the midnight have I often hid my face, while the storm howls above me, and there's no hiding place. But in the crash of the thunder, precious Lord, hear my cry. Keep me safe till the storm passes by. Till the storm passes over, till the thunder sounds no more, till the clouds roll forever from the sky. Hold me fast, let me stand in the hollow of thy hand. Keep me safe, keep me warm, keep me safe till the storm passes
Gerald, that's great, man.
Thank you, Gerald.
Thank you so much for that song.
Thank you.
And I know there are probably, as you said, a lot of people who fight with storms in their lives, probably today as they're watching this program.
I'm sure.
And for every one of you who may be facing a storm in your life, remember that. He'll keep you safe and warm till the storm passes by if you'll just put your trust in him. We're going to be back in just a minute with more Backstage, more of Gerald Wolfe and Gerald Wolfe. That's the way you say that
That's
name.
right.
In just a minute. Don't go away. Heard anybody sing quite as powerfully in such a small package. How tall are you?
Thank you. 5'7".
You sing like you're 6'7", brother.
Ooh, I wish I was.
That's great. That's great. Tell me about your future plans. What's going to be happening in your life and your ministry?
Well, we're going to release this new album in June, and then I plan to continue to expand what I'm doing now and go into more and more churches all the time.
Wonderful.
Just whatever God leads.
So if they wanted to contact you, they could do so. And if you,
sure.
well, in fact, if you want to contact Gerald Wolfe and find out how you can have him in your church, in your city or community, you can write us right here and let us know, and we'll be sure and pass it on to him. And Gerald, we'll be praying for you.
Thank you.
We'll want you to know that we care a great deal about your ministry and about what God's doing in your life.
Thank you.
And also, your records are available in stores around the
sure.
country. The folks who watch this program can find them in their local Christian bookstores and record shops. So we encourage you to go out there and find some good gospel music like Gerald Wolfe sings, and maybe like Gary McSpadden sings as well. I want you to remember this: the one who knows you best loves you most. And until we see you on Backstage next time, be sure and keep looking up. God bless you. Bye-bye.